Liverpool's luck has finally run out. And it's not just bad form, it's bad management. Let me explain. Liverpool has suffered 3 consecutive defeats across all competitions. Remember how it was at the start of the season? Manager Slot seemed to have an incredible run of luck, with last-minute winners and victories piling up. I kept predicting they would win. The victory over Arsenal was down to quality, but many other matches were heavily influenced by luck. Then I started to sense a shift. By the time they faced Crystal Palace, my prediction was that their luck was about to run out. The late winners would stop, and the underlying issues would surface. And sure enough, they lost to Galatasaray. The trip to Turkey was grueling, playing in that so-called hellish stadium, followed by the exhausting journey back. Fatigue was inevitable, especially with Chelsea having 2 consecutive home games. But in this match against Chelsea on 5th of October 2025, Liverpool absolutely did not have to lose. Chelsea has a glaring weakness. They are terrible at defending aerial balls. Liverpool actually scored from a cross. Both teams had their strengths in this game. Liverpool with their aerial threat, Chelsea with their rapid transitions. At 1-1, both goals came from those exact methods. Liverpool didn't even focus heavily on crosses, but the few they attempted worked because Chelsea's defence is vulnerable in the air. Alexander Isak isn't the best at headers, but Chelsea's backline couldn't even challenge him properly. The ball dropped to Gakpo, who finished smartly, another example of Chelsea's defensive frailties in the air. Chelsea's injury crisis is absurd. Right now, the 2 teams with the worst injury situations in Europe are the ones that contested the Club World Cup final. This match was a high-tempo, end-to-end battle. Chelsea scoring first made sense given their fitness advantage. They also copied Crystal Palace and Galatasaray's blueprint for beating Liverpool. Solid midfield, rapid forwards. Without Palmer, they could field 3 workmanlike midfielders. Without Palmer, they could also deploy their fastest attacking trio. This tactical setup was clear, and Maresca's pre-game planning has been impressive lately. Chelsea's midfield press disrupted Liverpool's playmaker, Gravenberch, who struggled to influence the game. Scoring twice against Liverpool was expected. My concern was Chelsea's inexperience leading to mistakes, and Maresca's substitutions, which have often been poor. In contrast, Slot's changes usually have an impact, and Liverpool's bench is strong. Liverpool had a chance to avoid defeat. I initially favoured them because of their superior bench and in-game management. Chelsea's weaknesses remain, not just their aerial vulnerability, but also their shaky build-up play. Early in the second half, they nearly conceded again. Chelsea's starting midfield trio was better at driving forward than passing. Ironically, after 2 injuries, Reece James and Hato combined better in possession, but that was late in the game. João Pedro struggles in physical battles, and his hold-up play falters in big games. Chelsea's build-up was messy, and their attacking focal point was unreliable, meaning they couldn't fully exploit their fitness and speed advantages. Before Maresca's 75th minute changes, they weren't playing particularly well. Liverpool created chances and even equalised, putting themselves in a position to win. Better substitutions could have sealed it, but poor decisions cost them. My prediction favouring Liverpool was based on their superior in-game adjustments, which should have turned the tide in the second half. For a while, it looked like they might, but the momentum slipped away due to flawed substitutions. This time, my assumption was wrong because I based it on pass patterns. Surprisingly, Maresca's changes outdid Slot's. Chelsea's substitutes had a bigger impact, deciding the game. Maresca mostly made like-for-like swaps, and with 2 centre-backs injured, he wasted 2 substitutions, delaying attacking changes. He had to make all 3 at once, which wasn't ideal, but still better than Liverpool's approach. So, what went wrong with Slot's substitutions? Let's break it down. Bringing on Jones added energy, and Endo was a sensible choice. Konate's recent form has been shaky, so moving Gravenberch to centre-back wasn't terrible. He did fine there. In a fast-paced game, Gravenberch didn't need to dictate play. At half-time, introducing Wirtz made sense. His freshness could exploit tiring legs. Switching to a more attacking 4-2-3-1 was also reasonable. Wirtz's performance aside, the logic was sound. The unacceptable decision was keeping Salah on. He was invisible at Stamford Bridge. Gakpo at least scored before disappearing, but Salah's only contribution was a misplaced cross. At his age, he couldn't keep up with the game's intensity. Keeping him on was like Pochettino stubbornly playing Harry Kane in the Champions League final, which backfired. Liverpool had a chance to turn the game around, but wasted it by sticking with Salah. Ekitike came on as an aerial threat, replacing Isak, a mistake as Isak was still useful. Salah should have been the one subbed off. The right move was keeping Bradley, not shifting Szoboszlai to right back and playing Wirtz in midfield. Szoboszlai should have replaced Salah on the right, with Bradley staying. I understand Bradley was on a yellow, but the risk of him getting sent off was smaller than the certainty of Liverpool's right side becoming ineffective. Chelsea's winner came from their full-backs underlapping. Cucurella's run and cross created the chance. Liverpool had no equivalent threat on their right. Szoboszlai at right-back was a disaster waiting to happen, as seen against Galatasaray when he conceded a penalty. This time he fouled Garnacho in the box, but got away with it. Chiesa, a pacey option on the bench, wasn't used, apparently due to injury concerns. If he wasn't fit, why include him? Liverpool missed a trick by not replacing Salah and failing to match Chelsea's speed. The defeat came down to wasted opportunities and poor substitutions. Slot has made similar mistakes before, misusing Wirtz against Crystal Palace and failing to adjust against Galatasaray. This time, his changes weren't good enough. Starting without Wirtz was correct, but Salah's presence ruined the plan. Some might ask why Wirtz, such an expensive signing, isn't starting big games. The answer lies in adaptation, not just for Wirtz, but for the whole team. It's reminiscent of David Silva's early days at Man City under Guardiola. Silva was benched in some big games initially, and City performed better without him. Once the team mastered possession dominance, Silva became indispensable. Liverpool is in a similar phase under Slot. Until they control games effortlessly, Wirtz might not start every big match. As for Chelsea, Maresca's in-game management, though not perfect, was better than Slot's. His pre-game setups have been strong, and he's improving players. Garnacho, for instance, looked far more effective here than at Man United. Chelsea's midfield structure hides his weaknesses, unlike at United, where he's forced to drop deep and struggle. The same applies to Anthony, Rashford and Højlund, who've all looked better after leaving United. Chelsea's system is helping players thrive. Caicedo's world-class strike showcased his potential. With better decision-making, he could become a top playmaker. Gittins, previously erratic, showed improvement by not overcomplicating things. His simplicity led to the winner. Maresca is proving to be a good developer of attacking talent. Chelsea's build-up, though still flawed, is improving. They avoided red cards this time, and Maresca's possession-based approach is modern and effective. Firing him would be unjustified. His core ideas are sound, even if his substitutions need work. Similarly, Slot shouldn't be written off yet, but this game highlighted his flaws. Liverpool fans might wonder if these issues can be fixed in time for a title challenge. It's still early, and adjustments are possible. The key is learning from mistakes, especially in-game management. If Slot addresses that, Liverpool can still compete. If you enjoyed this analysis, show some love by liking, commenting and subscribing. Your support keeps this channel going. Until next time.